Hey everyone, it's Amador and welcome to the Disney Days of Summer, and today is Magic Monday. This is a collab that I'm fortunate enough to do with my crafty BFF Sabrina, and I will put a link to her channel in the description and also have the links to all of the videos that we've done so far. I am posting on Magic Mondays and she will be doing Fantasmic Fridays. So today's project, I got a little carried away, but I've been wanting to make these for a while and I wanted to make it an easy tutorial with stuff that it's easy to find. And yes, so let me show you. Obviously, as you can see right here, some of these are actually magnets. I went ahead and made some clay, some air dry clay, lightweight air dry clay, and ice cream sandwiches, Mickey ice cream sandwiches, and some of the ice cream bars. Now, I have the entire tutorial. It's going to be sped up, of course, after this introduction because it was a long process. It took me several hours. Luckily, I live in Las Vegas, so it is super, super dry desert outside. So it's like 100 in hell out there, whereas this clay would take about 24 hours for it to completely dry. I just put it outside in the sun. I'm surprised it didn't catch on fire. So this is the Hearty super lightweight modeling clay. Now, I did get this at Hobby Lobby. You can, of course, get that at Hobby Lobby, but I will leave also a link in the description to Amazon. Amazon does carry this, and if I'm not mistaken, it's a couple dollars less, but I absolutely love this, and this is super lightweight. I know I could have used Sculpey. I could have used all sorts of clays. Even the paper clay is actually heavier than this. I mean, this is super lightweight. This is a 5.5 ounce bag, and it's, like I said, super, super lightweight because with the magnets. Oh, and some of them I did not put a magnet because I want to have just for like little photo props or whatever. But these are actual popsicle sticks, and I will show you all of that in the description in the process. But let me just show you. Look at totally. I did use a coating of, in case I don't show it in the video, I coated this with the Folk Art Clear Coat Acrylic Sealer in matte finish. Just, I happen to have it in my stash, so that is what I used. But here it is. This is the actual color of the clay, and you'll see the process that I did to do all of these cutesy wootsy little things. I even went ahead and used a stylus and did the little holes on the little sandwich cookie. So these are super thick. Like, now that I'm looking at them, they're like super, super thick, but I couldn't help myself. They had to be thick and delicious, and the magnets are nice and strong. I've already tested them on my refrigerator, and yes, you will see pictures of that here probably. And I do have an old white refrigerator because I don't have a fancy kitchen because I don't know how to cook. So but here is the, oh, let me show you the cookie cutters. I will show you these also in the video, but this is the set of cookie cutters that I used. I got these from Etsy, but the seller that I got them from is does not have sold out. But I will leave a link in, if you guys have Amazon Prime, there's actually a link to get these. And I just used the Mickey. I could have used the Minnie, but I don't like that this Minnie has a flower in her hat. And I know some of the Minnies have a flower, but I prefer Minnie with the bow. That's it. So I went ahead and used this one. This is the size right here. Let me see. It is about 2 inches by 2 inches on this. And this, I use the same cookie cutter. The reason why I wanted to use this cookie cutter is because I use the same one for the ice cream bar and the sandwiches. But look at, oh my goodness. And I'll show you all of the process. It's, like I said, it's oop, making a mess. It is sped up, but it's very light. When you heard it fall, it didn't have like a big loud thunk. Because when you want to make stuff for your refrigerator to hold stuff up, it has to be light because it can't be super heavy because it's just going to weigh everything down and it's just going to literally just slide right off. And if you see on this, I even have the little chocolate paint on the bar because that's what it looks like when they dip it into the chocolate. Where am I? Let me see. Like I said, I made 6 of, oh, here we go. Okay. I made 6 of the sandwiches, and I thought I'd only made 6 of the popsicles, but I actually made 7. And here's the funny thing. I was digging through some stuff to, like, some Disney stuff to put up on the fridge, and I put up a picture of hipster Mickey postcard that I have. This is the actual stick from Disneyland. Yes, I'm that crazy. I saved the stick from my ice cream bar at Disneyland. So this is the one from Disneyland, and these that I got from Hobby Lobby. Comes in a big old bag, and it was like a couple of bucks. And it took me forever to figure out where to find these, but look it. I absolutely love it. And that's the one from Disney. And yeah, that's gonna go in my scrapbook. Why not? I'm crazy like that. So yes, and these can also go on, let me see if they'll, yes, they also work on my Raskog. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it was nice and strong. I also have to show you guys my Raskog. Sabrina and I decided to do our Raskogs and decorate them everything. But let me show you, oh my goodness. I am like losing it over here. So stick around if you guys want to see the process video, and I'll throw out some more pictures. Thank you guys, and stick around. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. Here I am just showing you the cookie cutters again. Like I said, I'll leave a description in the a link in the description where you guys can find these cookie cutters. They do come in a set. And you will see behind I have again the clay that I use, the air dry clay that I use, the Hearty super lightweight modeling clay. And I have several dowels. Now, some of these are your kitchen dowels. Some of these are just dowels that you could buy at the store. They're all over the place. And with this clay, it does say for you, like I said, to dry within 24 hours. But I just set it outside in the sun, in the Vegas sun, which is like 100 in hell, like I said. And it totally works out. They do come in colors, but this is the brown that I use. I use the real brown and a dark brown. And I did a mixture to get more of like a milk chocolatey kind of consistency to the paint. This is an acrylic roller that I used for all of the, you can find in the clay section. Now these thick ones, these thick sticks are actually for corn, like corn on the cob. I use those for the inside of the sandwich, and it's just me demonstrating how to use a roller, I guess. I'm not a very good cooker or a baker. The skewers are 1/4 inch skewers, and the skinny skewers I did not use. So here's a picture of the ice cream sandwich and all the little holes that I poked and the details. Now these are like a cookies and cream in the center, but I don't like cookies and cream, so we just did vanilla. And the, of course, iconic Mickey ice cream bar is what I started with. And here I am just showing you again why I keep repeating showing you these sticks. I have no idea, but I just wanted to make sure that I had the right ones. I could have used just regular flat sticks. They have tiny popsicle sticks that you can use, but I really wanted this curved edge one, and of course a little bit bigger, but I went ahead and snipped off the top. I used these also when I made the Rice Krispie popsicles instead of ice cream popsicles for my nephew's birthday, which was how I bought all of these Mickey molds and cutters. Here I am just rolling it out, and this is the, I think it's the 1/4 inch. They're smaller than a 1/4 inch skewers in that I just got from the kitchen. And I went ahead, and the funny thing is I almost forgot to put in the stamp in the face. So you want to stamp in the face when you have the dough or the clay, as it were, within the cookie cutter. So first I went ahead and stamped the faces. Now I'm rolling it back out, and I'm stamping the back part, which of course both of these will be painted with the brown paint. Now, the very important thing with this air dry clay, it's super light, but it also dries super fast. Make sure you stick it in an airtight container or a plastic bag, and then a container. Here I am just taking the stylus and once again punching the little holes through it. For the cookie, the sandwich cookie, they have little holes. Now you see a toothbrush in there. You can use that to add some texture, but I really didn't care for it, so I just stopped using it. Here I am. Now I'm moving on to the actual ice cream bars, and I wanted to do all of this at the same time. I take my craft knife to actually slit the bottom of it so I can stick the popsicle sticks in there. And of course off camera I don't show, but I went ahead and also put some E6000 within where the little stick is. So here I'm just taking the clay that I have left over, and I'm remolding it and resetting it and re-rolling it to do the remainder one. And just like this, they look adorable. I just totally fell in love with this. Went ahead and just put them out on this tray and this cookie sheet out into the hot sun, and here I am just mixing the paint colors. Like I said, I use the same amount of the real brown and bark brown and real brown, I apologize. And I just went ahead and just with a excuse me, a brush, I just went ahead and just went at it. I did add 2 coats. The second coat was a very light coat, but the second coat was also for the little tiny holes and everything, the details that maybe I did not get. So here I am just making a holy mess, and I was like, well, what am I going to do? So then I realized, hey, the base of the sandwiches, they're going to have the magnet on the back, so that one that's the one I'm painting right now with the hole right through it. And the other ones with the actual faces that are going to face forward, I went ahead and just stuck little toothpicks at the bottom of the chin, and once everything was done and dry, I just went ahead and painted the little hole where that went. But I needed something to hold them for me to paint them without putting my fingers on it. And I don't paint the entire backing parts of it because those are the ones that are going to be connected with the ice cream part in the center. So there's really no point. At the same time, while I'm actually doing this, I'll have a little clip, I think, at the end of this section where I punch them all into a box. I used, of course, the flat rate boxes that assemble and have the adhesive tape at the end for me to actually have it standing up and let it dry. Once again, I just set it outside to dry and then also do the coat. Just make sure you follow the instructions. This is me just applying the second coat right now. It's super light coat just to kind of, make sure I covered all of my spaces, all of the little corners and everything, to have a perfect streamlined look of them. Right here, just doing the details, the little corners. And this is where I'm trying to fill in the little holes in there to make sure that it all has paint in it. And here, if you can see the sandwich, the ice cream bars are actually being put right into it. And on this box, I'm stabbing the toothpicks right into it for the sandwiches. Here they're all dry. The coat has been done. I only did 2 coats of the Full Caulk Clear Coat acrylic sealer. I just wanted 2 coats. There's no need to, super heavy duty it. Here I am just checking which centers are going to go with the sandwiches, because as I moved some of them, not all of them stayed in the same space, same direction, but they will match up with most of them anyway. So I went ahead and just found the ones that matched accordingly for the sandwiches, because you want them to look uniform. You don't want them to look like, they're sliding off the side, or maybe your sandwich is melting. But look, I just love how it looks when they're laying down there with, you can see the white border right there. Now, I did use E6000 and hot glue. You ask why the hot glue? You need E6000 to get a sturdy hold. Now, the hot glue is a quick holder, basically, while the E6000 completely dries, because E6000 takes about an hour to dry, if not more, depending on how much you use, and the hot glue will hold it together while you do that. And if you're shipping these, like I do plan to maybe I'm not sure, put some of these in my Etsy shop, they have to be shipped. So if they're shipping through hot weather, you don't want them to fall apart with just hot glue. Hot glue will melt in your car, okay? And it'll melt in a shipping car or whatever. So E6000 is something you truly need to make sure you have a super strong grip and a hold on that. And I'm just doing layer by layer. I'm doing the E6000 and little dabs of the hot glue, or just very thin lines of bead line through the hot glue, just to make sure that I have the hold for it. And the same thing I'm doing with the magnet. A good bit of E6000 and just a dot, a little slab, little slither, a smidge, a little booger, whatever you want to call it, of the hot glue, just for it to hold. Like I said, the hot glue is for it to hold right away, and the E6000 is to stick for good, because you want it to stick. You don't want your magnet just to slide right off your magnet. Now, if you notice, I'm wrapping them in wax paper. I wanted to put tape around them to hold it while it dries, but I was afraid that the tape would pull up the paint. So I just went ahead and grabbed some wax paper and taped that, rolled it in the wax paper, rolled the wax paper around it, and then just taped that around it to hold it, to make sure it had a good grip while it would dry, or at least hold on to it. Like I said, the hot glue holds it right away, but you want it to have a moment to just sit and make sure it just all grasps together. Not all of the sandwiches had magnets. Like I said, I did want to keep some of them just for little projects. I can always take off the magnets off if I want. And you see here, I'm just wrapping the tape around it. I just wanted to hold to keep it off to the side while it dried up, and it was all taken care of. And here, see, look, trust me, I went through quite a few. Oh, and these little tubes, yes, I do have the big tube of E6000. I hate using it because it just blobs out and it gets everywhere, and it makes me dizzy because it's so much of it. I like using the E6000 for jewelry. They come with little needles also, if you want little tiny precise locations, like if you're trying to glue what are those, Swarovski crystals and whatnot. This would be the one that you use, the E6000 for jewelry, and you'll find that in the jewelry section. I think in some of the craft stores, you'll find it just with the other adhesives. And it has a smaller tube, so here's the thing, the big tube that I have, I will waste a lot of it because it blobs out, it oozes out. I can't control it in the small spaces that I'm working with right now. So here I am bringing in the ice cream bars, and I'm totally in love with these, you guys. Like, I'm just a Disney nerd, okay? And all I'm doing to these, like I said, it also had 2 coats of the sealer. I'm just looking to see which side was the uglier side. And once again, a little bit of E6000 and a dab of hot glue for the magnet. And I'm just putting that on the back. I did leave 2 without any magnets just because I wanted them to have for little photo props. But that's it, you guys. Now, this did take me several hours. Like I said, if you live in a more humid area, if you use this clay, make sure you give it more time to dry. I live in the desert. But here are a few more pictures that I will show you guys, and I totally fell in love with these. Hope you guys are having fun with Magic Monday. And by the way, I did think I lightened up my pictures a little too much, so that Photoshop, oh my goodness. So thank you guys for stopping by, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good day.